So let's start with some sums based on interest, simple interest and compound interest. We'll start with a simple interest sum. So in how many years will any principal become double of itself at 10% per annum? So the amount of money after 10 years, let's say is P plus P time PRT by 100. So we assume that the any principal amount, we take it to be P since we don't know that value. So the amount of money after T years, we don't know years as well. So this is essentially principal is given to us and we need to find in how many years. So we take T, both T and P are unknown, but P is some amount that could have been given to us. T is the original unknown value to us. So amount of money after T years, let's say we consider a time period of T years, would have been P plus PRT by 100. So we take R as 10% per annum or 10% per year, as I've mentioned before. T is we need to find out. So this would have been the amount had they given us for any amount principal P, and for some unknown years T. For some unknown years T, it would have, the amount would have been P plus PRT by 100. This is the simple interest. By the problem, they have said that the amount will double, the principal will double itself. So this amount will essentially be double of the principal. So this amount should yield me 2P. So if I compare these two, 2P should equal P plus 10PT by 100. So if I take P, replace R with 10 and we keep T as T, since T is unknown. So this gives me P plus 10PT by 100. And if I equate these two, I get 2P equals P plus 10PT by 100. And if I solve for T, I get T is 10 years. So what I essentially mean is, if you invest any amount of money, any principal for 10 years at 10% annum, you will get double of the principal. So let's say I invest 10, let's take a bigger number. Let's say I invest 100 rupees in a bank for 10 years at 10% per annum. It'll give me back an amount of 200. Again, if I invest 1000 rupees at a bank at 10% per annum for 10 years, it will give me 2000. So whatever principal amount I invest in a bank at 10% per annum in 10 years, or rather for 10 years, I will get back the double of itself as amount. So that is what the first sum says. Let's move on to the next sum. The sum says, if R drops from 5% to 4%, annual interest falls by rupees 250. Find the principal. So if R drops from 5% to 4%, naturally my interest accrued will drop because they are considering a smaller portion of the principal. So I've taken the principal, I've taken the simple interest had the rate of interest been 5%, and I have taken the simple interest had the rate of interest been 4%, and I have taken the difference of both of them, and I say that this is 250. So as you see, it's PRT. So since I'm talking about annual interest, so I take T equals 1. So I have PRT by 100 when R is 5 minus PRT by 100 when R is 4. And I assume, or I take the difference to be 250. So you see, this is essentially an equation of P. So I can solve out P, and if I do so, I get the answer to be 25,000. So if my principal is 25,000 and my R drops from 5% to 4% per year, then every year I will get an interest rate which is 250 rupees less than the previous one. So had I been investing my 25,000 rupees in a 5% rate of interest scenario, the interest that I would have accrued, and in a different case, if I invest rupees 25,000 in case of 4% per year interest rate, I will get rupees 250 less than the previous amount. So that's what this sum says. Next sum is, in how many years will interest on rupees 4,000 be equal to interest on rupees 5,000 for 4 years at the same interest rate? So again, they have given at the same interest rate. So we take that same interest rate to be, let's say, R, and we divide this sum into two parts. So in how many years will interest on rupees 400? So we take this as one part of the sum. The next part is equal to interest on rupees 5,000 for 4 years. So what they essentially want us to find out is the interest rate which is accrued for a principal of 5,000 for 4 years should be equal to some interest which is accrued on 4,000 for a particular amount of years. So we have the year for this case, we need to find the year for this case, and we have the same interest rate for both cases. So I've equated both of these halves of the sum. So on this half, we have the known part. So this portion, interest on the principal of 5,000, P, R is the same interest rate for both, and for 4 years. So I have taken T equals 4. So it's PRT by 100. And that is equated to the first half of the sum. So that's principal of 4,000. The interest rate is again the same as both cases. So it's R, and T is the unknown variable that we need to find out. So in how many years? So that's T what we need to find out. And I equate 5,000 times R times 4 by 100 to 4,000 times R times T by 100. So again, R can get cancelled, 100 can get cancelled, the thousands can get cancelled. So it's basically, if you simplify, you get 20 equals 40. So that's T equals 5 years. So essentially, if I invest 4,000 for 5 years, rupees 4,000 for 5 years, and if I invest rupees 5,000 for 4 years at the same interest rate, they'll yield me the same simple interest. So that's a fact. The next sum is, Rita deposits a total of rupees 37,000 in 3 banks, A at 4% PA, B at 5% PA, and C at 6% PA, earning equal interest per year from each bank. So let's break it up. Rita deposits a total of rupees 37,000, sorry, in 3 banks. So let's say Rita knows of 3 banks, A, B, C, and Rita has a total of rupees 37,000. Of this 37,000, Rita deposits one portion to bank A, Rita deposits a different portion to bank B, and the remaining third portion to bank C. At bank A, we have an interest rate going of 4% PA. At bank B, we have an interest rate going at 5% PA. So these PA stands for per annum, in case you forget. And at bank C, so again at bank C, we have 6% per annum interest rate going. And this is the most important part. No, not the slanting line. Earning equal interest per year from each bank. So from bank A, going at some amount of principal rate, portion of principal amount 37,000 at 4% PA, and from bank B at 5% PA, another portion of 37,000, and at bank C 6% going at the remaining amount of 37,000. They gave Rita essentially the same amount of interest. So I need to find the deposits. So here I have, let's say she deposits X rupees at bank A. Let's say she deposits Y rupees at bank B. So the amount that she'll be left with to deposit at a bank C will be 37,000 minus X, which is the amount she deposited at bank A. Again, minus Y, which is the amount that she deposited at bank B. So 37,000 minus X minus Y is essentially the amount that she deposits at bank C. Now what I do is I equate the simple interest. So what the sum said is earning equal interest per year from each bank. Per year means T times T equals 1. So I write PRT by 100. So in case of bank A, again, this is bank B and this is bank C. So bank A gives me P, which is A is principal is X. So PRT by 100. You can refer once. Bank A gave Rita a simple interest of 4% PA. So it's PRT by 100. Similarly, in case of bank B, we have 5% PA interest rate, and the principal is Y, and the time is yearly calculated. So the T is 1. So it's PRT by 100 again. And similarly, we have T, and interest rate is calculated as 6% per annum. And the principal is, as we have found out earlier, is 37,000 minus X minus Y. So that's an equation that we get. And what we can do is we can cancel out 1,000 from both sides, from all of them, and I can get 4x equals 5y equals 6 times 37,000 minus x minus y. So what I do is, in the next part, I take just this portion. So I get 4x equals 5y equal to this, but I can also take 4x equals 5y. So what I do is 4x equals 5y implies, if I divide both sides of this equation by 20, I can get x by 5 equals y by 4. So let's say I take it equal to k. So we know these two values are equal, so I can consider both of them to be equal to k. So I take x by 5 equals y by 4 equals k. If that is true, then x by 5 equals k will give me x equals 5k. I transfer 5 on this side, so I get x by 5 equals k implies x equals 5k, and y by 4 equals k implies y equals 4k. So I get this value. Next, what I do is, from this equation, I take 4x equals 6 times 37,000 minus x minus y. So I take this value equals this value. And what I do essentially is, I already have put x and y into the notations of k. So I replace x with 5k, I replace x with 5k again, and I replace x with y with 4k. So I have this entire notation, entire equation which consists of x's and y's. I have converted into an equation of k. And if I solve them, I get the value of k to be 1,000. So if I have the value of k equals 1,000, I already have x's and y's in k. So I can just put k equals 3,000 and I'll get the value of x and y. So deposit at bank A was 15,000, that's x. Deposit at bank B was 12,000, that's y. And this deposit at bank C, you can find it either by putting the value of 37,000 minus 5k minus 4k. You can put the value of k equals 1,000 here, or you can subtract 37,000 minus 1,500 minus 1,200, whichever suits you, and you will get the same value, of course, to be 10,000. So Rita deposited 15,000 at bank A, 12,000 at bank B, and 10,000 at bank C. So another point that you can see is, as you see, the interest rate was the highest at C, then it was at B, and it was lowest at A. What she did is, she invested most amount of money at bank A, which gave her the lowest interest rate. She put a moderate amount of money at bank B, which gave her a moderate interest rate. And she put the lowest amount of money at bank C, which gave her the highest interest rate. So you see, the principals were, the principals were highest here and it were lowest here. The interest rates were lowest here and it were highest here. So it's fairly justifiable that she gets equal amounts of interest rate from the three banks. So that's a fact.